Trying to find a job nowadays is like squeezing water from a stone. It's literally impossible. You could be at a point where you're so desperate for money that you're willing to work anywhere. And when I say anywhere, I mean anywhere. You got bills that are overdue. You're $20,000 in debt and you're at the brink of getting evicted. So it is clear as day that you're in an ugly situation and you urgently need something. You're willing to sacrifice your pride and take whoever you can get. It could be a cleaner, dishwasher. You just need anything to make some money. Even working at McDonald's will be fine at this point. So you apply for hundreds of jobs and you're biting your fingernails waiting for that email to congratulate you for progressing to the interview stage. You're having sleepless nights dreaming to get the interview, but this is what the recruiters tell you.
After careful consideration, we will not be progressing your application further at this time, as there are other candidates who are able to fit the working requirements for the role more.
You get rejected from all the jobs you apply to. Like, I know those constant emails you be getting saying, after careful consideration, we are sorry to say that we will not be progressing your application further at this time. Garbage makes you want to punch that laptop. And I can't even blame you, because it's honestly so infuriating. It gets to the point where even progressing to the interview stage makes you feel like you got the job even though you didn't. That's how hard it is to secure a decent job. You're walking down the streets and you always see in the shop window saying we're hiring. Or when you're at home searching for jobs on job listing websites, you find out that most companies urgently need people, or they're hiring multiple candidates for a certain job role. But when you apply for those same jobs, you don't get called in as they already found your ideal candidate, or even worse, the hiring managers flat out ghost you. They ghost you like some deadbeat dad buying milk. And speaking of that, go watch the video I made on them. Ghosting is the worst because you will never know if you're truly the right candidate for the job. Recruiters, it's not that hard to just email a candidate to tell them that you will not be progressing their application. And besides, even if they do send the email, that after careful consideration, we will not be progressing your application, BS is still going to piss you off. So either outcome is deplorable. Why do recruiters and hiring managers always say that they carefully consider the application? You didn't carefully consider the application. You just use an automated system to reject it. On everything I love, if I see you hiring managers, recruiters, HR, employers, or talent acquisition is lacking, I will personally use my printer to spray CVs and resumes on. It is so annoying because you're filling out applications and in the back of your mind, you're thinking that you're 100% guaranteed to get at least one interview. But nah, the hiring managers be like, wait, you really believe that we're hiring multiple candidates or something? This brother fell for it. Thank you for your personal information and stay unemployed like the clown that you are. It's like the hiring managers love giving job seekers false hope. It's their beautiful and dark twisted fantasy. So it gets to a point where you just want to give up, as no company wants to give you a chance, no matter how qualified you are. And speaking of qualified people seem like beginners when they're trying to get an entry-level job. To even stand a chance in getting an entry-level position, you need to have a bachelor's degree at a prestigious university like Harvard, Cambridge, or Oxford, then a master's degree, then a PhD with 4+ years of work experience in that field that you're trying to apply for, and have undertook many internships, plus they expect you to have perfect grades in every school that you've ever attended, and have volunteered in some way, and have attended many boot camps. Like, what is this nonsense? Knowing that I've just went through an extra 6 years of education, strapping myself in unbearable debt, why do I still need an extra 5+ years of work experience just to get an entry-level position? How are these people in HR gonna call it an entry-level position and expect you to have 5+ years of work experience? Where is the logic in that? It's not even an entry-level position no more. Don't call it an entry-level position if you're expecting that much. It just gets to show that even going to university or college does not guarantee you an entry-level job, because so many graduates are competing for one position. Everybody is getting college degrees and master's degrees, so it ain't as impressive as it used to be. So it just comes down to luck to even getting a Zoom call, as a university degree is not going to cut it. These days, to get an entry-level job, going to college and getting a bachelor's degree is not special to them, as is the bare minimum. So basically, all those times of you putting blood, sweat and tears on exams, sacrificing your social life just to have more time to study every single day till 4 a.m. and reading dozens of books and having sleepless nights just to complete coursework, contemplating of dropping out, but you didn't and still held it down. And yet all of that was just all for nothing. So basically, we've been lied to our whole lives. We were told that going to university to get a piece of paper will guarantee us a job. But in reality, that was not the case. The messed up thing about it is that so many qualified college graduates end up having to work minimum wage retail jobs just to make ends meet because they were unlucky into getting the job that they wanted. Nowadays, the degree is not valuable to employers. I like to call this degree inflation. These days, going to university and getting the degree does not make you special in employers' eyes, even if they say otherwise, as everybody has got one. It's not even rare. University is only useful for people who want to pursue law, engineering, finance, medicine, education, science, mathematics, and computer science. I know a lot of people are doing something in a field that's completely unrelated to their degree. At this point, the only appeal in going to university is just to be in a new environment, be independent, network with people, make friends, and have fun. It's not called a uni life for no reason. I also want to let you know that just because you got a job doesn't mean you have a good job. Minimum wage doesn't solve the grand problem. Let's be completely honest. No one asks to work minimum wage. These are the only scenarios where people have to work minimum wage. Some might be desperate and need money ASAP. Some just want a part-time job just to earn some money on the side. College graduates' efforts of looking for an entry-level job are futile, so they have to resort to working a minimum wage retail job just to pay the bills. No one is like, my dream job is to flip burgers at McDonald's. Minimum wage retail jobs is meaningless work and is the last resort. That's why so many people are quitting these types of jobs every day. Most people want that proper white-collar job that pays well. But why is it so hard to get that kind of job? Why is it that every job that you fill in an application for, they reject you or you never hear from them? Well, from my investigation, I figured out that recruiters are advertising job opportunities without any intentions to respond to applicants or hire anyone for that matter. It's called ghost job postings. Companies try to build a pipeline of potential candidates for the future. Although they don't have any interest in hiring someone now, they want to have candidates' information so that they can call you whenever they need a position to be filled in, or even worse, they just want to sell your personal data or send it to HR for market research. This explains why you always get ghosted from the jobs that you apply to. How you create see that you have a candidate perfect for the role, yet you don't want to call them in? It just doesn't make sense to me. Why collect information from an applicant and wait? It just creates false sense of hope. People are applying to hundreds of jobs just to never hear back from the jobs that they apply to. It's absurd. And have you ever wondered why, despite you applying to hundreds of jobs every day, you get rejected by all of them? It's because companies literally have an automated system that rejects applicants straight away before a human recruiter reviews the rest. If your CV or resume is not perfect in their standards, they will reject your application straight away without no hesitation. Even though it's infuriating, I can see why they do that, as many people are applying for one role and recruiters can only do so much. You want to save time. You just gotta have the perfect CV, which means 10 years of experience working as a software engineer at Silicon Valley companies, no CV or resume gaps, got a master's degree at Harvard University, got all A's for every qualification, and be fluent in 5 languages. If you don't meet those requirements, they will get rid of you. At this point in your corporate life, there's mistakes that you're allowed to make, but there's some mistakes that you can't afford to make. That career break you took for 1 year to go on a vacation to explore the world? No, you shouldn't have done that. The employees want no gaps in your CV. You should have been working the whole time. It's all about work. Sometimes before a company advertises a job opening, they might already have a pre-selected candidate already for the role. Even if you have the perfect CV with the perfect skills, experience, and qualifications required for the job, if you don't know anyone that works in that company that you're applying for, then all the things that you got on your belt is not impressive to them, so it's ultimately useless. The only guaranteed chance of you landing a decent job is getting referred by someone that already works for that company. So the problem is that only referrers get the good jobs despite their experience and qualities. The perfect candidate that applied for the job traditionally gets mugged by the one who got referred. I landed my first job as a sales assistant at a retail footwear company when I was 16. You might be asking, how did I actually get this job? Well, that's a very good question. It's a long story, but the simple answer is that I got lucky. My assistant manager of the retail store just so happened to be my neighbor's brother. So basically, I got referred despite me having no work experience. If I applied traditionally for that job, I highly doubt I would ever even get called in. So basically, if you don't have connections within a company for a job that you're applying for, it's going to be hard in finding that job. Even though it feels impossible to get a good job, it's not impossible to secure one. It takes people many months, even years, just to find a decent job that pays well. That's if they're applying for the jobs traditionally. But if you know people, you can speed run the application process even if you have no skills or experience on your belt. Knowing people associated with a company for a certain job role can allow you to look at the job as a way to gain experience, while the candidate with the perfect qualifications and experience required struggles to get that same job just because they only applied traditionally without knowing anyone in that company. It's so rigged and flawed. It's the most unfair system ever known to man. However, what if you secure an interview from a job you want? If you're the lucky few that actually progress into the interview, then as you preparing for the interview, digging through your closet looking for a suit and getting a haircut just to look presentable and practicing your speech to feel confident that you aced the interview was flawed thinking, because 20 other people done the same, if not better than you. So you end up getting unlucky and not getting the job. Okay, I can't lie, I think I'm sounding a bit pessimistic, but you'll actually be surprised of how many people try their hardest in the application process but still not get hired. Companies even have the audacity to place 4-round interviews for a low-wage job. The job market is a joke, man. Companies love to take advantage of the terrible job market by advertising garbage jobs for people to apply to. What do I mean by a garbage job? Well, I'm glad that you asked. A garbage job are job posting that covertly and overtly show that they aren't a great place to work. And when the requirements of the job duties, the position title, and the pay mismatch to the extreme, companies would literally post job postings for respectable positions, expecting so much from the candidate, but pay way below the industry market rate. Yet they don't care because they know that qualified people will compete for a garbage job for less than what they're worth. It's absolutely sinister. So when people do actually get that job, they realize 1 week down the line, the job was garbage with no job security, the managers were nefarious, there was no work-life balance, there was a lack of career development, unreliable and unsupportive colleagues, the workplace was toxic, and they realized that they're not getting the pay that they deserve, so it's a bad job overall. That's why so many people quit their jobs without hesitation. After that, they look for a job, but remember, it's hard to get a better job, so it takes them months and months to find a better job, and then they eventually get that job, but months later they probably might get laid off, so now they have to look for another job, and the cycle continues again and again and again and again. So here's a letter to the hiring managers or employers. You could say this is a cover letter to employ better job postings and actually give qualified people a chance. Okay, here we go. Dear hiring manager, I hope you're doing well. It will be my utmost pleasure to ask you to stop ghosting applicants. Stop rejecting qualified people for the job. Don't bother posting garbage jobs and assess candidates based on their character, values, morals, soft skills, and how they will do on the job rather than assessing them on traditional interviews. And managers, focus on actually caring about your employees rather than stepping on them like some ant. As you're not above them, then both parties will be happy and the economy will start getting a little bit better. If you agree with everything I said, like the video. Join the Patreon or channel membership for early access to all my videos, access to blocked videos that I'll never share publicly, and uncensored content that's too explicit for YouTube. I'm out. Cheers.